When you think of magic, what comes to mind? Card tricks, rabbits in hats, sawing a woman in half. Maybe you're into Wiccan or Vodun, and you think of incantations and spells. Whatever the case, I bet money is not something you think of unless you equate it with how fast it disappears out of your bank account. But, in fact, money is one of the highest forms of magic in history. I'd argue it's only second to medicine and the field of pharmakeia. Now that's an entire video unto itself. But I bet you never thought of money as magic or a sigil. Well, now before we begin, let's get a working definition of the terms magic and sigil. Let's begin with the definition for magic. Magic is the power of apparently influencing the course of events by using mysterious or supernatural forces. Now, can we fit money into this definition? I think so. Mysterious? Watch this. Just about everyone in this world knows how to spend money, but very few, and I mean very few, know how money is created, or even who creates it. And that's not me being arrogant or dismissive. I'm just saying the creation of money is a mystery. Yet it does have the power to influence actions and events. The most powerful entity that money creates is debt. Just like magic, money creates debt. And debt is the real power of money. People think they get up for work to make money, when in reality, they get up because they have debt. Whether it's a mortgage, rent, car note, gas, electric, cable, etc. The prospect of being homeless or in the dark will inspire anyone to get up and go to work. If a person has all of those things we just named and no debt, well, I'd imagine his or her job attendance might be very different. You know, I hear people say if they hit the lottery for 50 million, they'd still get up and go to work. I say, yeah, well, you're a special kind of retarded. But my point is, money does fit neatly inside the definition for magic, both literally and technically. Now, what about sigil? Is money, or can money be considered a sigil? Well, Let's take a look at the definition for sigil. Sigil is an inscribed or painted symbol considered to have magical powers, or a seal. I think the answer to that is very obvious. But for cosmetic reasons, let's take a look at the dollar bill. Now, we know it's inscribed. And of course, we know it has a seal. But upon further inspection, we'll notice other implements designed to contain magic. Folks, this is serious demonic magic, and it's very invasive because you can't do without it. I'm not talking about analogies or comparing to. This is truly demonic magic. As we study the dollar bill closely, we see the term annuit coeptis, which in Latin means he favors our undertaking. Now, if you research Charles Thompson, the transcriber of the slogan, you'll see the he's referring to is not the Most High. It's Jupiter. Which brings me to the next magical incantation on our dollar bill. And that is Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is written under Annuit Coeptis and describes what undertaking Jupiter favors. And that is Novus, meaning new, Ordo, meaning order, and Seclorum, meaning ages or times. So our dollar bill is announcing that Jupiter is in favor of and in lockstep with their new world order. Now that's a sigil. And here's Jupiter, always depicted with the eagle, which you'll find on display at the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia. Speaking of the eagle, did you realize his right wing has 33 feathers and his left wing 32? Supposedly marking the degrees of Freemasonry. Oh, but wait, there's more. There's 13 olive leaves and 13 berries, and also 13 arrows. Why 13? 13 is a sacred number to the members of the craft, or Freemasonry. You see, numbers play a big role in magic, Wiccan, and Satanism. You may not understand it, But that doesn't change anything. As you see here, the 13 rungs on this representation of Jacob's ladder. Friday the 13th, 1307 AD, when the King of France declared war on the Knights Templar, who would later become the Freemasons. Or the Samaritans, who thought the number 12 was a perfect number. So logically, the number that follows had to be imperfect. Thus, on the so-called Code of Hammurabi, they skipped the number 13. But whatever the case, it had nothing to do with Jason. "13 is just a Freemasonic symbolic number. Personally, I think it represents the 12 constellations plus the sun, mimicking Yahushua and his 12 disciples. You know, Satan tries to mock the Most High in all that he does. Oh, and let's not forget the Owl of Minerva in the corner of the dollar bill. Minerva is a god worshipped by the ancient Canaanites. So why is it on the dollar bill? Hidden on the dollar bill. The point is, when people say money is the root of all evil, they don't know how profound that statement is. But is money really magic? Does it have any magical qualities? You tell me. Money has caused people to do all sorts of degrading, and sometimes illegal deeds. Things people thought they'd never do. All for an illusionary piece of paper that has no intrinsic value other than the corruption of the spirit. Money isn't a creation of the Most High. Yet you fill that plate every Sunday thinking it'll gain you some sort of favor. You can't please the Most High with money. There's nothing about money that is pleasing to the Most High. He's not a banker. Besides, you worship the Most High in spirit and truth. Money is about as physical as it gets. Nothing spiritual about money. We see women sacrificing their most sacred treasure for the benefits of this fiat paper money. Doing things that can cause permanent damage to themselves physically, psychologically, and most importantly, spiritually. All for what we call that mighty dollar. Think of that. We call it the mighty dollar, knowing there's nothing mighty but the Most High. Yet, we see people every day reach godlike status because they have a lot of money. I can almost hear the sickest of us over the computer saying, if you hate money so much, give me yours. And I just shake my head because, man, we are sick. We've lost our mind. And as such, we're losing our souls and the war. Money was never meant to be a good thing. It was always a tool for bribery, corruption, and enslavement. You don't know any truly rich people who have the purity and true love of the Most High in them. I mean, it's just that simple. We're so sick, we've come to believe the richer you are, the more blessed you must be. Totally ignoring scripture. Our spirit is the most valuable thing we possess. Yet we sell it out every day for a green piece of paper. So who among us can complain when tragedy strikes? Money can't stop death from knocking, nor can it mend a broken heart. All the things that have true value, notice, money can never buy. But we've been fooled. We've been tricked by wizards. Man, when will we learn? We worry about physical things, living in a physical existence that we think will last forever. We make plans as if we are the rulers of our destiny. And in many ways that we are. I just don't know if that's a good or bad thing. We want joy and fulfillment now at the expense of later. We don't really believe there is a later. But I tell you what, we will find out. And all that money, just like when the Monopoly game ends, it goes right back in the bank. Peace.